Hey guys, what is going on? It is DaBoki here once again, and it's time for another Maple Monday. It is November 19th, 2012, and indubitably guys, it is a glorious Monday. It's actually Thanksgiving week this week, so I hope you guys are going to have a glorious week as well. Now, some exciting news for GMS. As you guys know, the Tempest update is coming out for GMS now. On November 29th is when we can expect that. Of course, the first new class that we will receive is the Luminous class, and the Luminous is that one mage that goes dark to light, brush your teeth, not to brush your teeth, and it's just like really emo-y Romeo Juliet status there. And it's going to be a pretty cool class. The next class we can probably expect to see is the Kaiser class. A lot of you guys are wanting that and anticipating that wonderful warrior, the one who can transform into the Dragon Warrior, and it is pretty intense, so you guys are really looking forward to that. So am I. And the last but not least, we have the girly, cute, angelic Burster who will come in with her bubble guns and spray the world with cuteness and joyness, and she will be barfing rainbows. So for the Tempest update right now, the Luminous is the class that they're focusing on. It says, "Into the storm!" We will go with Luminous, and it's having a really big intro, and usually Nexon likes to do this, split up their classes into three. We saw this with the Resistance when they came out with the Mech, the Battle Mage, and the Wild Hunter, and they didn't release them all at the same time, as well as the Cannoneer, Mercedes, and Demon Slayer. So it seems like they like to spread it out a little bit, which of course it keeps us waiting a little bit longer, and the classes seem to be overpopulated all at one time when they come out, which is kind of interesting. I would like to see them release all three classes at one time, so it kind of makes us play some different classes. We're not going to see the same class running around all over the place, because of course when a new class comes out, we're going to want to go ahead and play it. But that being said, I guess it keeps us hooked a little bit longer. We got the Luminous coming up in 10 days into the storm here, and if you guys haven't checked out MapleStory's little Into the Storm video, it's pretty intense, so I'll go ahead and put the link in the description below and you guys can go ahead and check it out. But other than that, let's go ahead and take a look at the MapleStory update notes for Luminous and what we can expect to see, because there is some exciting things that this patch will be coming with. So when you get onto the MapleStory website, you'll notice that it says Tempest, Into the Storm, Heroes Step Forward. Now, they did a pretty cool job with this animation and the website in general, so I was pretty impressed on how they delivered the information to us. So it says 10 days. As you notice, the music is loud and it's intense, so for the sake of this video, we're just gonna go and turn this music down because we don't want to hear that over and over again. You guys can jam out to it on your free time while you're cleaning or something. I don't know what you guys do, but anyways, so you got the little animation. It's pretty fun. You can move back and forth with him, like, hey, Luminous man, you can move back and forth. But it tells you a little bit of a description of the Black Mage and a little bit of a history, so you can go ahead and read that if you want to and check that out in the MapleStory website. But I did want to go ahead and just mention a few points in this little update note patch. I know you guys can go ahead and read this all on your own, but there is two things I want to go ahead and point out, is that they are reducing the 3rd and 4th job advancement requirements. Now, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this in my KMS videos, but this is because, well, I think they're going to try to get ready for hyper skills. So 3rd job will be reduced, I believe, to level 60, and 4th job to either 110 or 100. So that's really huge, and it's going to bring down the level requirements. It's going to be easier to get to 3rd job and 4th job. It was already pretty easy, but now they're going to make it easier. But like I said, I think they're going to be prepared to bring out hyper skills, and I'll go ahead and talk about that a little bit later in this video. But the next little point I want to go ahead and mention while we're here on this page is that you can increase your arsenal. Equipment no longer has substat requirements, so you have more options. Now, I don't know if you guys also remember me talking about this in KMS, but now you don't need your secondary stat, so you can go dexless, luckless, strengthless, and you can go ahead and be really powerful. Now, I remember when that was a huge issue back then, when players could not go luckless or strengthless because it would cost a lot of mesos, and you had to be really funded in order to do that, because you'd have to buy really expensive equips to make up your luckless or your strengthless or your dexless. So now it's going to be really interesting, and I'm really interested to see what they do with the maple weapons, because I remember maple weapons used to be really popular because that would be the weapon you would use if you were your secondary stat list, because they don't require your secondary stat. So now it's gonna have this update is gonna come out, and I really want to see if they can maybe make maple weapons more powerful or more intense, because maple weapons are kind of falling and no one really likes maple weapons anymore that much. So it's kind of sad because I really enjoy maple weapons. But so as we move on, you can go ahead and see that there's more bubbles here. It says 16 days left for Luminous, so that means in 10 days the Tempest update will come out, but then I believe 6 more days will get Luminous. So after that, if you notice on the bottom of my screen here, we have unlocked on December 6th. You notice I can't click these little bubbles, and unlock on January 3rd. So those two little sections right there, I believe, is Kaiser and Angelic Burster, because of course they like to have it a little bit spread out. Now, I would not be surprised if I saw Hyper Skills come out with this update, or at least at the end of this update, maybe at the beginning of January or so, just because they reduced the level requirements already. So I think that they might try to get prepared for some Hyper Skills, or maybe in the next patch, but it's coming out pretty soon. So that pretty much does it for the Luminous update, the Tempest update. Well guys, that will conclude Maple Monday. Thank you so much for watching this Maple Monday. It means a lot to me. Kudos points to you guys. Thumbs up this video if you can. It will really make me a super happy panda, and I will dance for you. I am still looking forward to that archer class. I really am wanting that archer class, but apparently there are no archers coming out quite yet, but of course surely they will come soon. Well guys, this has been DaBoki. Thank you so much for watching. Have a glorious week, have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll be seeing you guys later.